Welcome back, Invested Introverts. This is the Invested Introverts podcast with me, Logan Santana, and
And I'm Riley.
we also have a special guest, Tinkerbell. This is Tinkerbell Ariel Allison Santana, my 6-month-old puppy. Uh, I just got home yesterday from a fun weekend, which we're going to discuss what we did our weekend. And today's episode is focusing all on what, Riley?
The book you picked, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke.
Did I pick Piranesi? I did pick
Yeah,
Piranesi.
that was
I
your.
was trying to figure out. I was like, wait, what did I do? So we're gonna talk about our weekend. We're gonna talk about our current read, our last read, if you read anything other than our monthly book club pick, which we did announce our next pick, but we're also gonna do a bigger announcement
At
in
the
a
end of
bit
the
at
episode.
the end of the episode. Because it's Riley's pick. We have two books. Very exciting. Riley, what did you do this weekend? What happened since I've seen you?
So honestly, absolutely not a lot. I worked on Saturday, and then on Sunday, obviously everyone's been keeping track of the weather. My job at the park got called off that day, and that was planned to be the final day of the season. So as of right now, I am free from that, and I am very happy that's done. So I now have my weekends to, focus on the podcast, focus on reading, and just, enjoy my time off and, figure out what's next.
Yeah, we had a nor'easter warning in our area because we're from the East Coast. We're specifically from New Jersey, the New Jersey, South Jersey area, and there was a nor'easter warning, which
Mhm.
is kind of crazy because I was inland more. So I did get the rain though. So last weekend was all about Ren Fair for me, and that was really exciting. It was my first ever Ren Fair. I went to the PA Ren Fair in I forget what part of Pennsylvania. It's a really big Ren Fair. And my friends from college and me, we dressed up and went. The first day I was able to wear one of the beautiful outfits I made with the help of my friend Kat, her mom Doreen, who is an amazing seamstress, and helped work on it. My second costume did not get done, but that's okay. Because of someone broke their arm, life, power
Ooh.
was not on the weekends I was working on it because I was working on it like almost every weekend up until this point, but like on Sunday before I had rehearsal, the power was cut off in their area. A lot of things, but it was really fun. On Saturday was the first day for me and it poured and my costume got really wet and I had a lot of fun. I got different things. I have like different clips I'm gonna make into a little vlog thingy for my TikTok. And then Sunday was my last day, and that was fun. A lot of the actors are so amazing, it makes me want to audition for the Ren Fair. And New Jersey has one. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
We have one in Berlin. It's 30
Okay,
minutes from my town. So there is. It's in Berlin, New Jersey, and I think we should check it out.
I'm down.
I'll audition for it. I'm gonna
All right.
audition for the New Jersey one. I'm gonna audition for the Pennsylvania one. I also have a Ren Fair crush. He's very talented, and I was told it was his first year performing, and he had two different characters. His character's name is George Silver. Hey, King. I literally called him my Ren Fair crush, and he turned around. I said, "Bye, Ren Fair crush," and he turned around and looked at me. It's a social relationship. I think this man is adorable and so talented. Very handsome. There also was a jouster who's very handsome, and I told him that. I was like, "You're very handsome." He said, "Thank you." But also, I respect actors' boundaries, and they do not owe me anything. I respect all performers. They do not owe me anything. I just think they're really talented. And I think you're beautiful and talented, I'll let you know. I think it's fair. You're beautiful,
Yeah.
talented. I want to let you know. Yeah, so that was really fun. So, Riley, I need to know, what have you read last? What are you currently reading? What are you planning to read next?
So, I finally got into Court of the Dead. I'm about 80-ish pages in.
God, me too.
I'm enjoying it so far. Next episode after this will definitely be Court of the Dead. We'll get to that. But I'm enjoying it. I love having Hazel back in the story. She's been really fun.
Yeah.
I don't Uh,
I am not
how?
80 pages in. I am
Okay,
10.
okay. I was gonna say the dynamic between Frank and Hazel is really good, but I don't want to get into specifics if you haven't,
But like the
gotten that
dynamic
far.
between Frank and Hazel is always good.
Yeah, it
So
is.
like
But it's
doesn't do anything.
yeah. Well,
You can
it's slightly different for this book, and
okay.
I want to get your thoughts on it when we get to when we finish, obviously.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So that's what you're currently reading. What did you read last other than finishing Piranesi?
I'm jumping between basically that Court of the Dead and Catabasis. I'm, jumping between the two.
How's Catabasis?
It's actually really good. Yeah, like I said, I keep saying there's discourse on the book about it reading a lot like the textbook, like a textbook, and I get that, and it does, but it's kind of the nature of the book where it's
Mhm.
like where it's a deeper look into like higher academia. So it makes and like the darker side of that and the negative effects of that. So it makes sense that it would read like a textbook, but I'm enjoying it overall.
The last book I finished is The Hex Girls Rogue Thorn, and I had a lot of good plot twists, and I really loved it. It was very interesting. I didn't expect some of the plot twists, and I love anything Hex Girls ever since I first saw them, which put on the Instagram post because we're doing a 30-day challenge on our podcast Instagram, and I put on day 8 because I am delayed due to Ren Fair and life. So I put on like this. I've loved the Hex Girls since I saw them on Scooby Doo and the Ghost Witch, which was really cool. And I started the first book in what is it called? Ice Planet Barbarians, which my friend I gave my friend a copy. She annotated it and gave it to me, and I am annotating it and I'm gonna give it back to her because I think it's funny. So I have funny little comments because I don't know how to annotate. And I started similar to you, The Core of the Dead, because I saw Riley was reading it, and it's the only book I had today in work. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start it. So, and my next read after that, I have tons of books that I recently got that I want to read. What about you, Riley? Do you have any thoughts other than our book club pick that you picked that you're reading next?
So I am
Or you're
actually
taking your time? You're a mood
so
reader.
kind of. So right now I am re-listening to Fondle's The Greenbone Saga
Oh,
just because I didn't have anything really too interesting that I wanted to get on Audible. So I'm like, all right, it's been like I don't know, maybe a year or two since I've listened to it last time. So I'm like, all right, why not? So I'm on the last book of that series. I've got maybe 4 or 5 hours left. It holds up pretty well. So I'm happy I spent the time to, go back through it and reread it or re-listen to it.
are you ready to talk
All right.
about Piranesi by Suzanne Clarke?
I am totally ready. Just a heads up before we get into the video, we just wanted to let you know that this is a full book review and there will be spoilers. So if you guys have not read this book, you can feel free to skip the video and come
Come
back
back
and watch it
later.
later.
Or if you
Mhm,
don't care, you can continue listening slash watching. I read most of it physical, the rest of it because of the pacing. The pacing was slow
mhm.
for me at least. I read the rest of it on audio using Spotify Premium. I bought hours to finish this book because it was such a slow walk to there. What was your thought on the pace before we get in the nitty-gritty?
So I think it kind of drags in the beginning because it
Definitely.
took me about the first like 30-ish pages to really get into it because it doesn't get interesting till Piranesi starts, finding all of the clues and discovering what's going on. Because the first 30 pages or so are just, him explaining the house and then
Yes.
explaining his whole relationship with the other. and that's kind of about it. It's not until 30 pages with the albatrosses landing that it really, like, the plot really starts moving at all.
Yes, and he also goes in depth with the people that he counts that are there. Most of the people that are there are bones that he found, and he creates these ideas of like what were their life before this. He says that one of them is possibly a bride for him but died too young, which is crazy. And Paradisi's like, I don't is has like a running map and writes journals to remember things because he's very thoughtful and about the way he is, and him compared to the other who we don't get a name. He is just called the other.
Until
Um
kind of the very end.
until the very end, which we learn who he is, and then Piranesi doesn't even pick his name. He's like, this is the name the other gave me due to the story of Piranesi. Or there no, there's the statue of Piranesi in the maze-like place where they are at. It's one of the two.
Because we don't figure out Piranesi's real name until the very end when one of the other characters drops in and then reveals it.
Yeah, and completely shifts his life. Like the other tells him, you forget things. And he's like, no, I don't. And the other leaves the area, only comes on certain times to discuss with Piranesi
Only for an
what's going
hour.
on. Yeah, only for an hour. And what changes, like you said, is the albatross showing up is somehow a switch in what his life is. And he starts meeting other people. How did you feel when his describing of like the how he did the journals with the year being like the year of the albatross?
Because of the nature of this book and like the unreliable narrator bit,
I
it
was going to ask you
makes,
about that.
yeah, it makes sense that the book would be kind of written very disjointedly and we don't get like a clear timeline. It's like it's kind of the albatross thing, and then that's basically our year zero for, lack of a better term.
Mhm.
And then everything else just kind of happens after that. We get some bits before that, but like the albatross thing is like year zero for us.
Yeah, and he's to me, I let me know after I say the statement. He is a unintentional, unreliable narrator.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree with that because a lot of what he's going through is, caused by the other, you know,
Which he
gaslighting
doesn't
him.
remember.
Mhm. We'll get into what we think of the other in a little bit, but the other is basically, gaslighting and manipulating Piranesi because he really needs Piranesi. And when we get to spoilers, we'll, deep dive into why that
We are
is.
already doing spoilers. We are doing a review. Um, so your first thoughts, impressions of the other when he's introduced.
Absolute, um, absolute tool.
Yeah, there's
No,
so many words that
yeah,
are not positive that I think when I think of the other.
mhm,
Arrogant, like
yeah.
he has all the cards and he's only showing a few.
No, he's definitely that. He's definitely arrogant. He's definitely self-centered. And I went real quick, jumping to like the very, very end of the book. How did you feel about his death with him drowning because of the house?
I think
Poetic justice or what?
yes, as my just give me a little kiss. Yes, I think it was definitely poetic justice from it was a full circle moment, and we will get to that. So I'm ready to move on. So the albatross, love birds, love animals. I would like thoughts on the warning because the other also pushes the plot forward with warning of he said number 9.
Six,
Not 16?
16,
Six
yeah.
16. My favorite
Yeah.
number. So, what was your first thought when he was like, be aware of this person?
I figured out the twist very quickly.
Really?
And so a lot of that came from Piranesi and the others' interactions. And after the whole albatross thing, Piranesi says certain things or brings up certain things, and the way the other reacts is it's very telling that something's going on. So I don't know how quickly it took you to figure it out, but I pieced it together very quickly. That was just me because the other and his reactions were very telling as far as like something's up.
Definitely. It just, the other was such a high contrast of our main character, Piranesi. And he seemed suspicious. I'm like, how long has he been here? Because he doesn't know, we don't know. And all of a sudden you're like, if you see this person, hide. And you're like, Piranesi is just excited and is hoping there's other people in the world he's in this maze.
Yeah, because like Logan, like you just said, their their personalities are very diametrically opposed. Because Piranesi, I would describe him very much as like a free spirit hippie sort of guy. He's one with the house, for lack of a better term, whereas the other is very like one track mind controlling, essentially,
Yes.
is his personality, which is why I find it really fun, really good the way he died because the house like basically offers him a way out and he has the chance to take it and save himself and like basically believe in the power of the house, but he's like, no, I believe in my own godhood essentially more than the house and I'm going to, die because of my arrogance.
As we move forward, and he's being told, we've had this conversation before. You forget things. Having Piranesi question himself, and then finding little notes were just adding to the confirmation for what you knew was the truth, right?
Mhm. Yeah, like you said, the more Piranesi finds out, the more just suspicious and manipulative the other becomes.
Yeah, like this elderly old man showing up and being like, I'm gonna be honest, I went to jail, but this person studied under me, and I'm gonna be tell you the truth. If this person results to violence, you know
He wouldn't
that
hesitate to kill.
he won't hesitate to kill. He warns. He's like, I know this person well. He studied under me. This is his name.
Mhm.
And we're like, is that the other? Maybe it's not. And then you get confirmation bias that he's like, if you see this person, kill, don't hesitate. And
Yeah, don't
even,
hesitate and run away.
yes, and even the like, hide from them, run away, don't hesitate if you have to. This person wants to take me out. And then even the elderly man was like, something about this place makes you forget, which we never find out why, but I
So,
kind of love that.
okay, the
Do you have a
interesting thing
theory?
about so this is kind of connected to C.S. Lewis in his one book, The Magician's Nephew, used kind of a similar idea where that he basically makes this world between worlds
Mm-hmm.
and it's created and it's a bunch of like magical pools that can bring you to other dimensions. And it runs similar to the same logic. The longer you spend there, the more you're going to forget about where you came from.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it runs on the same logic. So
Yeah.
I found that very funny. I could, see the influence of it. Like when you understand that it really does make you forget the whole reason why Piranesi and the other limit their contact with each other so much makes a lot more sense.
And how Piranesi is like now questioning everything and finds old journals that he didn't know existed that are in his handwriting, but he doesn't remember them because he's trapped in this place where he forgets himself, while the other seems to remember everything and is a flip of a switch angry and is like, now Piranesi is hiding information from him, and the little notes not note from the woman who saves him is crazy. Like, what was your thought about the woman appearing and then that person being 16 because I thought I wasn't sure who 16 was. I thought I was like maybe you're counting wrong. Um Thoughts, who did you think was 16? Did you think the old man was 16 or you were like no that can't be 16? Like
Okay.
what is your thoughts about that whole sequence towards the getting to appearance number 16 is actually this woman and who she
So,
is?
okay. So that I clocked that the professor or the guy he called the old man that appears, Piranesi ends up calling the prophet, and
Yeah.
I clocked very quickly that that was the teacher all of these guys worked under. Like that was this is clearly him. They don't
This
ever say
this
it.
is a red herring. This is not what I want.
The one red herring for me, at least for 16, was the fact that they described that it ended up being a female. I thought it was going to be that one character, that one that they brought up, that one woman who made that like experimental film.
Oh,
I thought it was going to be her, but just because of the name, who ends up actually being 16 is a like it she's given a male name, so it was kind of like a it threw me off slightly, but I'm like I thought it was going to be her, but it didn't end up being.
yeah. I
Yeah.
thought it was one of the missing people. Like I thought it was going to be more than one person. It would be the missing people that they escaped together. Because I was like,
Okay.
there's no way you're just in this maze and we don't know how to get out. Like there was no I was like, maybe it's it's like the story of the Minotaur and you're stuck in the maze and you're trying like the Minotaur like grew up in the maze and shouldn't exist, whatever. But
Mhm.
I was like, I don't think you're meant to be in this situation, so I want to put you here. I just don't have confirmation yet. It's crazy how he was told not to communicate with 16 and it was like, you didn't tell me it was a female, a woman, and like is still communicating. He's like, I am gonna do this on my own. I don't know if I trust the other anymore. Crazy. And the whole towards the end, like I feel like that part was kind of rushed.
Which bit?
Them meeting together, be like, this is who you are. I'm pretty sure this is who you are. Your family's been looking for you. I somehow
Oh,
figured this
that.
out. And then his life after the the maze. And
Oh
then
yeah.
I did like I the pacing of the ending of the water rising and warning her and trying to protect her, in some sort of manner, whatever relationship they have. Friendly. I didn't think it was romantic, but maybe people thought it was romantic. Is I felt like that was okay. Maybe could have been drawn out, but I felt like towards the end it was a rush because the front part was so drawn out.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. It does kind of speed through. The middle of the book is so much of Piranesi, discovering everything, that
Yes.
by the time we get to the end and the actual flood, it just kind of almost steamrolls everything into that ending.
It's satisfying, like justice is served,
Yeah.
though he's not brought to like actual justice. That it's like full circle. Like you forced these people here, hurt so many people. Now what you wanted destroyed you, which
Mhm.
is great, but it's also it happened so quickly, and then the ending of Piranesi not really being him old self and being a new version and having the struggle to like what is he? Who is he now? Was interesting. I feel like the ending was rushed.
So would you would have wanted more of like 16 and Piranesi working together to take down the other?
I think so, or maybe a second point of view, like
Okay.
slowly as we meet the other, we get into her point of view. Not the other, her, the person who saved
16,
him.
yeah. Yeah.
16's point of view, like slowly shift to that. But maybe
Oh,
it's just
okay.
me. I can live with just one book and no like aftermath or like prequel.
Yeah,
What?
it's not satisfying.
Yeah,
But I think I think you're kind of right. I feel like there either needed to be like after they figure out what's going on, there needs to have been like a bigger conversation between Piranesi and the other, because then they split and then we actually get to the flood. There
yeah.
I kind of agree. There needs to have been some like bigger conflict or something, but like before we actually get to the end. But otherwise, it was a
What was your
otherwise.
rating?
So I am gonna give it out of five. I think I'm gonna give it. I think I'm gonna give it four.
You're gonna give four? I think mine's a 3 or 3.5
Okay.
because of the dragging. It was a good book. I would recommend. It was draggy. I think the writing was beautiful and I loved it. I think I'll read more from this person and people. It was so interesting. I think it's very unlike any book I've read before, and I love the image on the cover. I love satyrs. I'm obsessed with satyrs. I love all things goats. And like the aspect of the Greek mythology of Piranesi, which I need to brush up on it. And I might read the like summary of the myth of Piranesi and then compare it and see if it boosts my rating. But highly recommend. Great. I really am glad I chose this with the help of you because it diversifies my reading. So I'm not just reading the same genres. Our next two books. Okay, first, Riley, you have to tell us what is our next book club but pick, even though it was announced on our Instagram. Go follow us. What is it? How did you pick it?
So for the next book, it is going to be All Better Now by Neil Shusterman. Now, I really enjoy Neil Shusterman because I read his Arc of the Side series as well as his Unwind series, and those two series were really good. This might be controversial to the Neil Shusterman fans, but I kind of prefer Unwind over Scythe
Okay.
just because Scythe, like, I don't really want to get into Scythe, but like, he jumps the shark in
Okay.
like a couple of times, and he kind of loses the plot as far as like why I was interested in Scythe. But both of those series are good. I just prefer Unwind because I think it was overall better written. But
Mm.
again, like we said, it is going to be all better now, and I'm really excited to get into this.
I have not read anything by Neil. I think it's Schusterman.
Yeah.
Sorry if we say your last name wrong. We will look into it. And I've heard he's really great at creating especially his standalones, having like a group of young people, teens who come from different backgrounds go through something and their
Mhm.
experiences. Because I saw it when I was subbing, a person picked it out because they're reading it in class. I was like, "Oh my God, that's the book I'm reading with my friend." And the person's like, "You can read it right now." I might read it on audio, I might read it on my Kindle, I might get a physical copy. Who knows? I have to decide. And then so you love the writing. You haven't read it before. That's gonna be really interesting because Riley is really having me branch out of my comfort zone. And our second book, we both agreed on this because we went to see
Court of
the
the
tour.
Dead.
So we both started it at different times. That is probably gonna happen before
All better now.
All Better Now.
Just because
So
Court of the Dead, I think, is longer than All Better Now. So we'll probably get done Court of the Dead, and then we do have we talked about this earlier. We do want to do a special video doing a retrospective slash review for Percy Jackson season one.
yes.
So that'll be fun because both of us are really hyped for season two, but be on the lookout for that. That'll be an interesting video to work with.
And I also hopefully we do a video about our books that we've read so far, how we feel about our reading year. That'll be towards the end, but the books we've read so far will be at some point, and we'll do other videos as well. But check us out at all our social medias. It'll be linked down below. That's Instagram, X if you use X. I don't really use X.
I,
TikTok. Do you use X?
no, I don't.
I
I'm
don't. I didn't lock
more,
down mine.
yeah,
So,
I'm more
uh,
on threads than
you're
anything
on Threads.
else.
You can put your threads down there.
Yeah,
Our Instagrams. And it'll all be linked below.
yeah.
Riley is killing it. We were doing a 30-day challenge on our the invested Instagram oh my God,
Invested
invested
Introverts
introverts podcast
podcast
Instagram.
Instagram.
will be linked down below. All of that. If you want to see more of us, love our faces, subscribe, but you don't have to. Tell your friends or don't. It's really your choice. I can't force you to do anything. Drink water, take care of yourself. Riley, do you have anything else to say?
I mean, keep on reading and make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast, and we will see you guys for the Court of the Dead review.
Bye.
See ya. So, just a heads up before we get into the video, we just wanted to let you know that this is a full book review and there will be spoilers. So, if you guys have not read this book, you can feel free to skip the video and come
Come
back
back
and watch it
later.
later.
Or if you
Mhm.
don't care, you can continue listening slash watching.